Ready? Ready? So we're here with Grams today. Grandma, I want to ask you, was it safe for you as a child growing up? Like in school, was it safe for you? Like in the environment where you could go out and come in from school, walk on the road safely?
Yes, yes, and it was only once I went home for lunch, and when I was going home, I took this lonely road, and when I was walking, I saw a car coming down, and when the car reached me, the car stopped, and the door fly open, and a gentleman came out, and I started to run, but there was a shortcut to go back down on the street further down. And I started to run and I took the shortcut, but apparently the person in the car knew that there was a shortcut that would go end up back down on the road, and the car drove off and go down, but I didn't go down. I go across in the bush and some ticket and go up until I cut out back on the street. And I was so scared that day. I didn't know who it was, but I found it funny as a child because all these years we have been traveling that road going to school, and we have never have anything like that. But that was a midday and the road was lonely. So, but it's not like now where you would send out the children and you are fearful that something is going to happen. Nothing like that.
Alright.
It was just the only one time I remember that happened.
So back in the day, would you consider yourself to be an optimist or a pessimist?
Optimist.
An optimist.
Yes.
Why?
Because I set my goals and I work towards it. I was a person who believed that things can be done and get it done. Doesn't matter what it takes. I dedicate myself to it and it's always coming.
Right, so speaking about the education, when doing exams as a child, what was it like?
Well, at some point the day before exam I might feel a little bit edgy, but my mom would wake up in the morning and she would boil an egg. She'd boil an egg and then orange and give us fruits and whatever we eat and have our breakfast and go. But it was exciting for me because you're coming from out of the community and going in town, and in those days you don't really go in town often. So it was exciting for me because after exam I would browse the town and things like that. So it was really that nerve-wracking.
So basically, so would you say you were like nervous when it comes to exam time?
No, no.
You would say you were nervous?
No.
So would you say school was harder back then as opposed to now?
Well, I wouldn't say it was harder. It may be a little more difficult because in those days we have to do a lot of reading, a lot of manual work. These days you have computer, Google, you just go and you just Google and you get your answer right away. But we'd have to do a lot of researches, go to the library and things like that.
So did you enjoy school growing up?
Yes, I did. Yes, enjoy school.
What was school like?
You go to school, you do your regular lessons as usual. Just like you would go, you have a devotion. After devotion, you go to your class. You have break time and lunchtime. You play all sort of games. Baseball in those days, what we call baseball is when you throw the ball and you use your hand to bat it. And then you run to the base and you come around. It's different. The baseball that they play, what they call baseball now in those days, and that what we used to call baseball. And still in the middle there, dandy shandy, tug of war. It was nice. I enjoy my school days with my friends. Sometimes we go home with my friends and we have lunch and come back.
So what did you enjoy most about school?
I enjoy school because there are times when we get together with your friends. You were able to play games, you sing songs, and I used to enjoy Fridays because on Fridays we hardly do anything. We might do one subject for the morning, and for the rest of the day the teacher would bring stuff. We might play different games. We go outside and we play games and what have you. And only a few students used to come to school and do. It's not like today when children don't go to school. On Fridays you just have a few people coming to school. So you have less work more play.
So,
And in those days, we thought it was something nice.
what did you think that was a good thing? Not having to get to work on Fridays?
In those days, I think so. But no, I think so. In those days, I think so.
So,
Because it would be like a matter of revision what you did for the rest of the days
for
in the week, yeah. So they would just come and set work and you would just do that. It's like a mini test or something like that. So it's not a rigid learning teaching process.
So if you had a chance to choose a time that you could go to school, what would you choose? Today's time or your time?
My time. Because in my time, students were more disciplined. Because in my day, going to school, anybody could see you on the road doing something and they could scold you, they could reprimand you, and you can't go home and tell your parents anything. But these days, you see a child and the other day I went to a school, and when I went to the school and I saw this little boy, two boys, they were fighting, and I said to them, okay, stop man, stop the fighting. They were fighting over a pencil. And the little boy was saying, this is my pencil. And the other guy was saying, it is his pencil. So after, when I went and I parked the fight, and I said to them, be nice to each other. And the one that was a bully was like, I have a lot of pencil on my heart. So I said, okay, since you have a lot of pencil, just let him get that one, man. And I started patting him and said, no mind, man. And he was like, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. And I was like, you talking to me like that? I could be your mother, Yes, but you're not my mama. And I was like, whoops. I had also walk away. In my day, that couldn't happen. A parent see you and rush away over. You have to move. Because if you don't move and they see your parents, they are going to make complaint, and they know what is going to happen.
What you're saying is that technology wasn't that abundant, so in certain times you didn't get to really do things that you really wanted to do. But you're saying that that was a good thing in your time because you didn't really get that addiction.
No, because the thing about it, we had was to study. We'd have to do a lot of researches, read up and what have you. These days, you just Google. So it doesn't encourage children to really reach out that much, because they know kind of say bam bam good and that's it. But yes, it is good and it is bad, because a lot of students and realize these days they get addicted to the computer, so it's like they can't do nothing without it. Well, it's modern days. Maybe later on everything is just computer, so it might be good in your day, but in my time.
If you were the Ministry of Education, what changes would you make to the school system, whether in your time or in today's time?
The changes that I would make if I was there. Today, what I understand is that principals in school does not have that command as they should as principals, because they have to be careful, because you have child care, human rights and everybody coming. If you realize that the things that are happening in school today, it's because of those things, and they know that they have their rights too. Yes, children have their rights too, but at the same time, parents are adults, are teachers, principals, they have to guide them. They need guidance, and if you allow them, because yes, you have your rights, so you can do this and do that. And that is why the society is like this today. Because in my day, certain things could never happen. You can't just suspend a child like this today because of what the child does. It depends. They're going to bring law, child care coming, human rights coming, and all sort of organization. They come in and they say, well, you can't do this and you can't do that, and this is not right and that is not right. And I didn't do anything wrong in my day. You reprimand a child misbehave or do certain things. The child was expelled or suspended from school for a time because of certain things. Yes, there are some children who behave certain ways, and it stems from certain problems or certain things that they are experiencing at home or in the society. But at the same time, rules and regulation must be made and must be affirmed. People must know that this is what is expected and this is what is to be done.
So, what would you tell others, especially youths, to keep in mind every day to stay strong and positive in everything they do? What advice would you give?
The advice I would give is that they are to discipline themselves Whatever you want in life, you can get it if you go at it. Be persistent in whatever you do. Don't give up. Sometimes you're not going to have it easy. There are struggles in everything that we do, but at the end of the day, it will worth it.
Perfect.